All right, ladies and gentlemen, lesson 715 starts off with the story problem, so give me a second to type that up. And then we're going to look at this problem three different ways: our digit by digit, our expanded notation, and then our rectangular section method. So give me some time while I type this up, and we'll be ready to roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to want you to just write this down, and it's the only story problem you're going to have to write down today. And I didn't type it up because that just seems like a waste of paper to do that for every person. No offense, but it's a lot. Our problem today is there are 2,048 sheep being sent on a train. Each rail car holds 32 sheep. How many cars are needed to transport all the sheep? Okay, so we're going to start off with, we're going to do this problem three different ways, but we're going to start off with digit by digit. Okay, so we're going to take, to solve this problem, we're going to have to take the total number of sheep, which is 2,048, and we're going to have to divide that by the number that each car holds, which is 32. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one of the difficult parts of division with larger numbers is trying to guess how many times. Now, there are two ways to do this. And the first way is you want to think of this, and what I think is the easiest, you want to think of this like 30. You want to just round to the nearest 10, or the nearest, basically the nearest 10. Now, if you round down, sometimes, boys and girls, this number is going to be off because you've rounded down too much. So sometimes I will round up just if it's going to be close. So the question is, how many 30s can I put into 2? Well, that answer, hopefully, and rounding or not rounding, you know is 0. How many 30s can I take out of 20? That's going to be 0 as well. So now we have to look at how many 30s will go into 204. Now, one of the things I want you to think about, ladies and gentlemen, and you really can't see me do this, but I'm going to pretend I cross off the 4. I'm covering the 4, and I'm covering the 2, the 0. And I think, how many 3s in 20? And that's the good way to do it. That's the second way to do it. You just cross off the last digit. So it's going to be, how many 3s in 20? Well, knowing that, that's going to be 6. Okay? Because 3 times 6 is 18. 18 is, so now let's multiply. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 1 is 19. And now we're ready to subtract. Okay? And I'm going to cross this off so I don't use it again. 4 less 2 is 2. 0 less 9 I can't do. I got to go to my neighbor, borrow some sugar. 2 becomes 1. 0 becomes 10. 10 less 9 is 1. And then I have an 8 to bring down. Okay? Again, what I'm going to do is I think of how many 30s in 128. That should be about 4, because if I skip count 30, 30, 60, 90, 120. So it's going to be close. So I'm going to go with 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. I subtract. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I've zeroed out. So my answer is 64 cars needed. Okay? So that is the digit by digit method of doing this problem. Okay? Now let's look at it a different way. Let's do it partial expanded notation. Well, partial product, I'm multiplying here. Again, we're going to do the same problem. 2048 divided by 32. Okay? Now, luckily, boys and girls, we paid attention and we know what our answers are. Okay, so now we just have to figure out how to make the problem work. So, how many 32s in 20 in 2? That's going to be 0, 0. Now, how many 32s in 2048? Well, we know that there's going to be 6. So it's 60 here. So we're going to multiply. That's going to be a 0. That's going to be a 2. Carry my 1. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 1 is 19. And now I'm going to subtract. Okay. 8 less 0 is 8. 4 less 2 is 2. 0 less 9 can't do it. 2 becomes 1. Alright. So now, how many 32s in 128? Well, we kind of gave it away right here, didn't we, boys and girls? So our answer is 4. We multiply that. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. Answer on bottom. Subtract. 0, 0, 0. We've terminated the number, so our answer is 664 cars needed. Okay. Now, so far so good. We got the same answer for both problems. Let's look at then rectangular section here. And I'm going to make my box red. And we're going to make it that big just because I can. And we're going to put 2048 here. And we're going to put 32 here. And how many 32s in 2048? Well, I know that there's going to be 0 and 2, 0 and 20, and 32, it's going to be 60, because we kind of know that from this problem up here. So I'm going to multiply that out. 0 times 2, okay, is 0, and then 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 6 times 3 is 19. 18 plus 1 is 19. Now I'm going to subtract. And then I've got 8, 2, 1. Now this becomes my next rectangle. And that goes 128. And then I have to figure out how many 32s in 128. And we already know the answer is 4. Multiply that bad boy out. 128. Subtract. And I get 0. So our answer is 60 plus 4, 64 cars needed. And let's actually make this look like a 4, not a 9. Okay, so that's the same problem done 3 different ways. As we go forward, I'm going to do the problems, I'm going to try and do the problems a different way each time, but oftentimes I get confused because the rectangular section is not my strength. So I will do my best, but we will work through some problems together next.